I was just testing in VR and I noticed that if I shoot an object, it binds to the right hand. So I think the inline stuff is working in XR when it shouldn't be. So this is a bug. And there was another issue when a member leaves, any entities that they're holding onto would still be in the gen server. And maybe we should clear them out because if the person that was holding on to some things change some things when they leave, maybe they should revert back. So maybe bug. And of course, we have this color bin persist, which we can look into. So let's look into this one too. The inline class here is listening to the pointer info, pointer pick. So this is happening, and this happens in the client ready. Ooh, okay. So as soon as the client is ready, these get bound. They never get unbound. So perhaps we should extract them out into something that we bind them when we exit XR and unbind them when you enter VR. So maybe let's create a function called bind 2D events, and it's all of this stuff, right? Seeing if another player stole something, keyboard event, trigger substitute. Because when you're in XR, you don't want any of this stuff. Bind inline events can be all of these things. We're subscribing to, put all of them here. And then this thing, we'll just call this bind the inline events. Now, if we can get a hold of their subscriptions, then we can unbind them. So a subscribe returns a subscription. So maybe we could get a hold of our subscriptions, public subscriptions, and it's a subscription from RxJS, and it's a list of them. So we'll bring this in from RxJS. What does this do? Okay, no subscriptions there, but bind inline events. Okay, bind F key for flight. This creates a subscription, so we'll say const sub is this, and we'll do this subscriptions push sub. So if we want to unbind this, we just say unsubscribe, right? Okay, and what other things do we have? bind F key, which is the first of this. Instead of saying, yeah, let's just pull this out. Or just return the subscription. How about that? Return subscription. And so all of this will have this subscriptions push this thing in, and let's just assign it to something, and this subscriptions push thing, we'll let this be B, and this subscriptions push B, and then sign this up, this subscriptions, oh sorry, this will be C, and C, this subscriptions push C, and then we have this whole thing here. This is grabbing any object here, shootable or interactable, and this will be let D, and then this subscriptions push D. So this is bind inline events, and then we can have an unbind inline events, and then we'll go to this subscriptions for each, and we'll just do sub unsubscribe, and then this subscriptions is unset to an empty array. Okay, and so when the client's ready, we're going to bind the inline events, create inline hands. So when you are exiting XR, you need to rebind them. This bind inline events. But when you're entering XR, you need to unbind. So when we're entering XR, then you need to this unbind events, and that should free us up from the inline watchers. Okay, so when we come in, we're setting up inline and create inline hands, which is on the camera. So when the client's ready, then you bind the events. But as soon as you're entering XR, you want to unbind the events. And if you're exiting XR, put the hands back and bind the events again. Hopefully that works. I need to test in VR, but let's see if it broke anything just here locally. Let's check in Chrome. It seems to, oops, cannot read something of undefined push. Oh, we need an initial value for it. So yes, this is a subscription, but we have to set something for it. So this subscriptions must equal this. And let's see, click on that, bound to it, and release it. And here's another gun. That release. So I should have two guns here. Okay, so that seems to work. Oh yes, I jump into XR. And I leave this, comes back, and if I click that, seems to be broken. Yeah, didn't. Oh, unbind. Okay, bind. Alright. And it doesn't seem to have been found. Clicking this, and it detaches. I go here to XR, and now I exit immersive. Is there any errors here? Now I exited immersive, and now I click this. Okay, it works. Click it again. Release. Okay, I guess it kind of works. Try again. Okay, if I bind it again, I now have to click it twice. Unbind. Okay, let's bind. And unbind. Bind. Unbind. Okay, kind of works. Alright, not sure what happened. It seems to work. What was the other bug? So I think this one is done. Maybe a bug when a member leaves, any entities that hold on should be cleared from the server. I don't know if they should be immediately cleared, because just because they left, do you want to put that thing, because what if they leave and they come back? Maybe just keep the status as is. It doesn't seem to hurt anything, so the things that they collected are just kind of gone. So maybe we don't need to reset them just because a person leaves. Maybe there's a different solution. Okay, but this definitely is a bug. The color didn't persist after a refresh. Because we can come over here and we can say we're editing, and I want the color blue, and color this thing. And so I want to know about all the entities in this space. So if I grab this and I go into localhost graphical, so I want to query, tell me about the current space, the space ID of this thing, and tell me all about the entities, their components in particular. I want to know the type. Is there a color component in there? There is a color component on a couple of them. So type and the data. And also get me the entity ID name. Alright, so we got one grid, we got one gun, we got one ammo box with no color. the capsule has a color, which is all, okay, so this value. This ammo box has a color, which is, no, it doesn't. Okay, so what? I'm a little confused. We didn't set a color on this. The capsule has a color. Let's go to a new space. Alright, let's make a new space. X, Y, E. X, Y, E. And we'll just go into XYZ, which has nothing in it. And we'll create a box. Regular box. Give it a color of red is fine. Refresh. It is red. Okay. So that did persist. What about the ammo box? So create an ammo box. Well, let's delete this thing first. Delete. Kill that. Go to the primitives. Create an ammo box. And let's give it a color of blue. Grab this into GraphQL. Tell me about this space. So we have position, and we do have color. If we refresh, color persisted. Color is not persisted, but this looks correct. This component here is correct. So then it must be the serialization then. What comes through in serialization? So if space ID is this thing, let's go to spaces, serialize, and give me the space ID. Space equals spaces get space by ID, space ID, and spaces serialize with a space. Okay, so we get entities, ammo box, components, color, that is correct. Okay, so then it must be in scene manager when we are drawing each one. We are saying parse initial scene. So entities parse initial scene. Grab the entities. Entities comes from this entities. Okay, so we're given this list of JSON data. For every one of these, entities reduce. So we'll parse the entity. Okay, parse entity says find or create mesh. Find or create mesh. We'll get the mesh ID. If it doesn't exist, then we'll go create it. And let's see, ammo box. Here. Oh, okay. We may have replaced its color. That's why we can't color it. The color is actually working. I guess we don't need to do this, and that would just fix that error. It wasn't actually an error. Yeah, this overwrote it. So now if we just delete that, this should get a blue box. Yep. Okay. So fix the bug. Okay. Just a quick video on fixing some bugs.